What do you love most about your job?
Giving people an enjoyable place of work. I didn't really do enough initial prep to foresee the growth, and we're making the drapes out of our single car garage.
Doors closing. Welcome to the 13th floor. Stuck in a Lift HQ.
Welcome back to another episode of Stuck in a Lift. I am sat with Richard from Kapok 88, Director of Kapok 88. Over to you, Richard. Good morning, how are you?
Well, very well, thank you, Alice. Yeah, thanks for coming up to the East Midlands today.
It's all right. I'm not sleepy at all, It's fine. And I'm off caffeine, right? So I am,
no caffeine?
Yeah, wow. Just pure energy now this morning. But cool, so I just wanted to have a chat with you about the company itself, how you got into the industry, and what fun and exciting things you've learned along the way.
Okay, great.
So if you could just start off by, who are Kapok 88 and what do they do?
Sure, right, so Kapok 88, we are Europe's leading manufacturer of elevator interior protective drapes. We tailor make all of our products to suit each individual lift. We export to many different countries all around the world, predominantly Europe, with a number of different distributors dotted around, supporting us in our business and sales. That and amongst numerous other direct sales to all the lift manufacturers and end users, and lots of other people like that as well. So yeah, we manufacture here in Long Bennington, just east of Nottingham, and have been in this region since we started in 1988.
So what made you join?
What made me join? Well, my parents started the business, like I said, in 1988, and so it's always been part of my life. School holidays, I was dragged in.
Lifts.
Both mum and dad. Yeah, both mum and dad obviously worked in the business because it was only them to begin with, just the two of them. Mm-hmm. So it's always been part of my life. I never intended to join the business. It was never my desire originally. I'm a big golf player, and it was always my intention, my want to become a professional golfer.
Okay.
So I left school, tried to follow that dream. My dad supported, mum and dad supported me as best they could by me in the summer working part-time for the business, just 3 days a week, and then spent the rest of my time just playing golf. And then in the winter I'd get a full-time job, earn a little bit more money. I did all sorts from painting pub toilets in Ilford to laying block paving driveways to making roof trusses for houses and packing pizzas in a cold store.
Okay.
So they were the sort of things that I just did just to earn some money.
Yeah.
And then after sort of 3 years of doing that, my parents were sort of in the need for another employee, someone else to come and join the business. And couldn't really afford anyone else full time at the time, so it just made sense for me to join the business. It became more and more apparent that I wasn't cutting the mustard at golf, unfortunately. So yeah, I then at the end of my third summer of doing part time, it just rolled into full time. And then that aspect of the business that I managed for the next 10 or so years was the on-site installations. It was something, a service, as my parents started the business. It was a bolt-on thing that my dad did, trying to give that extra bit of customer service. And then that became my baby, really, and worked hard and grew that side of the business, doing sort of 50,000 miles a year, travelling up and down. And then after a period of time, my parents were sort of planning their exit strategy a little bit, and we employed someone to do my job, Griff, who take over, is still in the business now. I then became a bit more office based, and yeah, here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah.
So how did it begin? Like, where did it first begin, this business? What made your parents start it?
Okay, so back in '88, the company name Kapok, it came from, and Kapok itself is a natural fibre.
Right.
It grows on trees, big tall trees, out in real sunny, hot climates. And my father used to work for the business originally, and then the guy who owned that business, based in Grantham, he decided he wanted to get out. So my dad took a leap of faith and remortgaged the house that he'd built on his weekends, brick by brick, dug the footings by hand.
Wow.
On his weekends. Took him 2 years to do that, so parents took a big leap of faith in themselves and bought the business. And at the time, the drapes was a once-a-year, very side thing, all part and parcel of it. So the Kapok fibre itself, we used to make it. We import it in big 1-ton bales because it would come straight off the trees. It'd go through. I had a factory over in Grantham. It would come. We'd put it into a machine. It would go through a big hopper, and because it would get all the bugs and seeds, because it was literally just raw in its raw state, and it'd come out the other end all clean, and we'd put it in bags just like this. So Kapok itself, it's like a cotton wool, very soft, natural fibre, and we used to sell it to predominantly shops like Woolworths, who would sell it in their haberdashery department for toy stuffing, cushions, all bits and pieces like that. Back in the day, Kapok itself used to be used in buoyancy aids, life jackets. So those poor folk on the Titanic would have had Kapok life jackets. Not that it did them much good.
No, I was going to say, did that float?
Not much could have saved them, I guess. But,
I guess not.
So that's what we used to do. And then, like I say, it was once a year set of drapes. My parents then, basically, that wasn't going great. Everything my dad had risked was potentially on a knife edge. And my dad just had a bit of a vision with the protective drapes. Right. I thought we could have a bit of legs in this. Yeah. And then sold that half of the business, downsized significantly, got rid of the factory, the staff we had at the time, and just then my mum and my dad transferred the business to our family home in a village not too far away, and we're making the drapes out of our single car garage. I'd come home from school and open the front door. There'd be stock rolls of fabric. That would be our hallway, would be our storeroom, effectively, along with the spare bedroom.
All made by hand?
Yes, yeah. So the rolls of fabric, we get the outer fabric made to our specification. We then buy the polyester. That then gets sandwiched together. Yep. That then gets also then put on a big roll. We then cut it to size off that roll. So those rolls were stored in our spare bedroom, in our hallway. Dad had a desk in the corner of our living room, and just mum and dad in the single car garage. Back then, my mum and dad would get some leaflets made, some flyers, jump on the train, go down to London, and go, oh, there's a tall building there. They must have a lift on it. Knock, knock, knock. Here's our product. Just try and sell so much of the product as we can from there.
Target Lifts are proud to sponsor the Stuck in a Lift podcast in partnership with Blacks Productions, a lift company with a passion to deliver expert levels of customer service. Target Lifts are always aiming higher.
And what would that be used for? So I'm guessing a new lift's gone in, they want to protect it.
Yeah.
Then the drapes come down, and then that lift's being used every day.
Yeah.
Is that the kind of process?
The nature of the product, you can install them within minutes. Yeah. You can hang them up and down just like you're hanging your coat up, virtually. So it doesn't have to be a new lift. Any lift that is in a building, you're more than likely at some point going to use it to move a heavy, large item. Right, okay. At some point, whether it be a block of apartments and someone's moving out, or an office block and the particular business is moving in on the 7th floor, they often want it spec into their design and everything else like that. So if there's a lift, then there's at some point you're going to move something heavy inside of it. You're going to need them. Yeah. Absolutely. Wow, that is really interesting. Yeah. Love that. As we're on that high, what's been your most successful project so far? Well, I mean, we've supplied some pretty cool properties over the years. The numerous royal households, Buckingham Palace, the State Apartments, Clarence House, Windsor Castle, Palace of Holyrood House up in Edinburgh. And numerous other famous landmarks across the country and specifically London. Some of our largest projects we've supplied, as in volumes, we've had 3 particularly large ones, and they've all been of a similar volume of around about 44 sets of drapes. One being Dubai Hills Mall that we did a number of years ago. About 4 or 5 years ago now. Then another one was for the Lactal Centre in St. Petersburg, Russia. And then the other one was a job in the Iran Mall in Tehran. which I have been to Tehran many years ago, off the back of one of the exhibitions I did. I met one of the companies out there and flew out to see them. That was an interesting experience over there in that place. I've not rushed back, if I'm honest with you.
No, I can understand why.
Yeah, there's some more other places I'd like to go to over that. But there are, very welcoming hospitality people were good. So yeah, we've done a number of different things like that over the years. So those ones were all pretty cool.
Yeah, sounds it.
Yeah.
Are there any challenging parts of your job role that you can share with us, and how you got around them, how you're coming around them, how you've any struggles?
As all business owners and directors always have the people issue. It's never easy managing people and everything else. So that certainly is a common fault that's always there. Well, one of the other problems or issues I've had is as we've grown as a business, I didn't really do enough initial prep to foresee the growth and put structure in place to allow and manage the growth compared to what it was then compared to how it is now. That if I ever speak to anyone now and they're hungry and wanting to grow their business, I think get some thoughts about and processes in place that will work as you're a larger entity.
Okay.
Because it's very easy as a small business, a small business owner, to be involved in everything, across everything, and everything in here. But as you grow and get more people involved, that doesn't work.
No.
And then getting the information out of here to the rest of your team, it is really quite difficult when you're also still trying to spin plates and run a business as well. So yeah, I really wish I'd had the foresight at the time to go, right, Rich, let's run this in a way that might be beyond you, not beyond you, but in a way that's future-proof. That's been one of the main things.
Did you take any training to learn that part, or
no?
You've just literally learned it as you go?
Yeah, I have, and because I've only ever known a small business.
Yeah.
Like Lisa, my other half, joined me in 2016 here. She came from quite high level HR roles with big corporates.
Yep.
So our way of working is very different because corporates work in that corporate way.
They have to complement each other though, right? I
guess. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
yeah.
Hugely. It's she's helped to educate and expose me to what corporate ways need to be.
Yeah.
To help. Yeah, there's certain corporate ways that are just corporate ways, but there's also a lot of elements that you need to implement as your team is growing to help you manage and become efficient.
Target Lifts are an independent business, and since 2009 they have been offering peace of mind and complete confidence in the service they provide. They are available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and can tailor contracts to suit your specific requirements. At Target Lifts, they pride themselves on providing excellent communication and engineering detail to ensure full compliance, safety and reliability on all planned preventative maintenance contracts. Visit targetlifts.limited.co.uk today to see what they can do for you.
What do you love most about your job?
Well, there's a number of different things that I really like about running our business. Giving people an enjoyable place of work, making it, as we've been a small team over the years and as we've grown, it's been really important to allow people to come to work and enjoy what they do. That then gives them a sense of happiness in the job and want to do well for the business. Because the next thing that I enjoy is customer service. Without the right team creating your product and working with you can't provide that customer service. And customer service is really top of the tree for me. I love delivering for customers and giving them the best service we can possibly give them. It's something when I go out and spend money, wherever it be, in restaurants and stuff like that, if I don't get the right customer service, I feel disappointed, and I don't want our customers to feel that way. That's one of the main things, the two main things. The other thing is having Lisa on board. That's a big thing. I love that.
Do you work in the same office? Does it get...
Yes. No, she doesn't work in here with me. She works just the other side.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, she's only a stud wall away. But yeah, we obviously work very closely with it, and what she's been able to bring to the business with her experience is invaluable. Yeah, it's something I love doing.
How have you managed that kind of going home weekends? Do you talk about work constantly, or have you the door closes, that's it, no more work?
No, we'll often find ourselves discussing it.
Yeah.
It's just, such a big part of both our lives. It's going to happen. There's times where both of us will go, not tonight.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something else tonight. But yeah, being able to have that as well at home, because especially the way my brain works, things ping in and out at all different times. Yeah. So yeah, to be able to just discuss something with her and have a chat with her about stuff, it's good that.
What is the most expensive part of an elevator that you sell?
As all of our products are tailor-made, bespoke, the more detailed the product gets, the more expensive it gets, really, and the larger it gets. If we've got to do a big vehicle lift like we have done in the past, and we've certainly done some particularly big lifts in museums and art galleries and stuff like that. We've done a couple of monsters at the V&A.
Oh yeah.
And amongst other museums and art places over the years. So the bigger it gets, the more expensive it gets. And like I say, everything's tailor-made. So we can make almost anything for almost anywhere. I guess probably some of the more expensive stuff has been some of the off-piste stuff. We've done non-lift related work. Okay. We often get questions, can you make for this? Can you make for that? So
what other scenarios would a drape go into?
So we've made fairly recently, a customer had a really nice, he called it a gazebo in his garden. It was a timber framed garden room, really, that was open sided, and it was really nicely done. And so we made him out of some of our fabric covers to go on all four walls of it, with doors in it and windows and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. We've done stuff for a company in Norway. They sell products for bars and restaurants and stuff like that, and it can be satellite stuff. So they'll go and set it up, a mobile bar, and they sew stuff like the fridges. We've made protective covers for fridges, gas heater, patio heaters, with a flame going up, which is glass-sided. We made them for that. We did a big staircase in the state apartments for the Queen when she was around, when they were moving catering furniture up the whole big wooden staircase to protect the sides of that. So yeah, stuff like that really that gets a little off-piste, that can become a little bit more expensive and a bit more detailed. And
then material, adding certain logos or patterns as well.
Yeah.
Do people often ask to have their logo put on the material?
Yeah, so they often do. Yeah, we've done them for football clubs fairly recently. Yeah. We've done Chelsea's ground, the new Everton ground, Wembley, Tottenham Stadium, another one that's had a couple more that have had the logos on, quite well known. The new Raffles Hotel at the OWO, Old War Office. We've done that one. We've done Claridge's. There we go. Yeah, we did Claridge's, another one there. So yeah, we often put logos on. It helps promote their own brand, and gives the product a little bit of ownership as well.
Is this a mini one?
This is, yes, one of our little drape samples that we churn quite a few out when we go to exhibitions. Yeah. We fold these up and put them in little Kapok shopper bags and hang them out, as guys might have seen when they've been at different exhibitions and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what we make
nice and
hand
light.
Out. Yes,
really light.
Yeah, they're super useful for the sales guys to keep in the back of the car. The lift sales guys when they're out and about, they can show them to the customers. We normally have swatches on here of all the different colours available, because we've got 5 different colours. So yeah, these are really good little tools that end up travelling the world with me. fit easy in my suitcase and stuff
Yeah.
like that when I'm seeing different customers all around the world.
I'll have to trade that cardboard box in for one of these to put over this.
Absolutely.
So it keeps it nice and protected.
Yeah, I could. We can make you something for that, Alice. No problem.
Perfect. Thank you. Have you seen, I love this question, anything that was unexpected along your journey?
Yeah. Well, a couple of things that have been particularly challenging over the years. One, Brexit. That that made COVID feel like a walk in the park compared to what happened and what we had to be and do during that year of Brexit and everything else that happened there. The way we could dispatch products pre-Brexit, I could send something to Frankfurt as easy as I could send something to Coventry, and for not a lot more money as well. Not just as a consignment price, but as a personnel price as well. It was a very simple process to do the booking in, to create the routing label and everything else. That became a dedicated person's job almost overnight, really. So that also brought its challenges with the couriers, because a lot of them didn't really know what they were doing, and product was going out for it to come back. And at the time, and it's still almost a little bit like this now, when it does get returned, and we still have the same problem even now, the couriers, they get it back from the country, then it sits in their own hub, and they were originally saying, well, it could take 6 weeks to get back from their hub. Our product's custom made, and more often than not, the customer needs it.
Yeah.
So we have to start to do it all over again, remake it, and then dispatch it again. Keep our fingers crossed that it made it the second time, which sometimes it didn't. So we had to remake it and send it again.
Wow.
So the only, try and take some positives during the time from it, it's tailor-made, and when the product comes back, we can reuse it to an extent. We have to then kind of cut it and reshape it, remodel it to what it may or may not be. So the only thing I was trying to remain positive at the time is, thankfully, at least our goods aren't perishable. And we're not sending food or anything like that can go off.
And you can reuse it.
Yes, with time and effort to go into reuse it, but at least it's not a complete write-off. So I'm trying to remain positive on that one at the time.
So all you're really losing is time because you're having to remake it.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah, and some stuff, that sort of thing. So that was particularly challenging. Thankfully, the customer base we've built up over the years remain loyal to us. Okay,
that was going to be my next question.
That was good. We didn't really lose any customers over that period, and they understood.
Everyone's in the same boat, right?
Yeah.
So
they all understood and cracked on with it. So that was nice, to be able to have that support from the customers and our distributors and things like that. So that was good. The other challenges, like I touched on earlier, dealing with a larger business.
Right.
And having the structure in place that to enable the team to work in an efficient way. And we're currently trying to explore and go down the route of digitalising. Yeah. We're still really quite paper based with all the different designs that we have to do, and they're all, like we say, we go out and survey the lifts, and that's all paper based, and we spend a chunk of our time searching around the building, trying to work out, right, where is that paperwork now? What part of the process is that in now? So we're trying to get some digital systems in place, which in itself's proving to be a challenge. To explore all those different digital processes and options available and providers for that. And it's going to be a big investment, but something I wished I'd done years ago. So they've been the main challenges over the last handful of years.
Target Lifts has a YouTube channel. Subscribe and view their recent company promotional video, a day in the life of a lift engineer, and more recently 3 customer reviews where the client gets to say what they really think about the service Target Lifts provide. Give them a watch today. Target Lifts are always aiming higher.
Could you share on that? You just told me a story just earlier before we started recording around the restaurant where they'd requested a certain pattern.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. So one of the slightly more unusual requests we've had over the years, over and above all the off-piste non-lift stuff, is a number of times as we've supplied a restaurant in Smithfield Meat Market called Smith of Smithfield. It was, I'm not sure if it still is, owned by John Turode of MasterChef. And the lift in the restaurant there, we'd supplied a few times because he preferred the look of our drapes to the inside of his lift. And we supplied a chunk of the restaurant. It was originally themed around a red colour, so we provided special red fabric for him to go in that one. And then one occasion, I got a phone call from him, or not directly from John. I've never actually met him, unfortunately.
You haven't?
No. He was having a book launch and doing it in his restaurant there, and this particular book was a beef-based recipe book, and he asked if we could supply a set of drapes in a black and white cow colour, like a Frisian black
Funky.
and white sort
Like
of,
that.
yeah. So that was really kind of got my head scratching. Couldn't deliver on it, unfortunately, because just couldn't source the fabric to allow us to get it quilted onto it.
Right.
So I had to turn him down on that particular one. But yeah, that was an interesting inquiry.
I bet that would look quite.
Yeah.
Can you standing in? So was it in a lift?
Yes.
Cow walls.
Cow coloured walls. Yeah, that's what he wanted.
God, yeah.
I
That'd
really
be
wished
quite
I'd been
wacky,
able
wouldn't
to. Yeah, it would. I really wish I'd been able to deliver on it because it would have been. Really
That'd be
good.
great photos.
Yes, yeah, it would.
Yeah, that would stand out. So we love to end each podcast in tradition, as you know, and we would love to know who you'd want to be stuck in a lift with and why.
Right. So I've got two people here really. As I said before, I love my golf.
Yep.
If you were to ask Lisa, she'd probably say he doesn't love it, he's addicted to it.
Like most people in the lift industry,
Yeah.
right? Where are you at golf?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So I'd love to be able to spend some time with Tiger Woods. His ability and what he's achieved over the years has been phenomenal. So to be able to spend some time with him and quiz him and just tap into that would be amazing.
Do you think you got some moves to show him?
No.
Got no moves. All those years of golf and you've got no moves to show him?
Not good enough to show Tiger.
Oh,
no,
okay.
Unfortunately
All right.
not. Probably some good bad shots that'll make him laugh.
Okay.
Maybe
Yeah.
I've got a few of them in my locker. But
All right, perfect.
but yeah, that's. The other one being I'm a big motorsport fan and really enjoy my F1. And someone I found quite inspirational over the last, I don't know how long it's been now, 10 plus years, Toto Wolff.
Okay.
The Mercedes principal,
Yeah.
team principal. That being stuck in a lift with him, twofold really. One, I'd ask him about F1 and all the cool things that he's experienced and seen there, but also as a manager and a leader of a team, and what he's achieved over the years, and managing and helping Lewis become as good as he was and is, and to achieve what they achieved, and the way he manages that team. I found that really inspirational, and I'd love to be able to spend some time with him.
Okay, just get them both in that lift
Yeah,
so you can ask all the
absolutely.
questions.
Yeah.
Richard, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you,
It's been
Alice.
great talking to you.
Yeah, thanks.
Doors closing.
A lift that's being put in for accessibility needs to be there because a box needs to be ticked for compliance.
I just want a lift that goes up and down and I can reach the buttons.